I'm Alpha, and this is my 5-minute morning show. I'm going to start the clock right now saying thanks to Dan in California, Pete in Wisconsin, Elizabeth here in Atlanta for making this a regular part of your day. And thank you very much. I do appreciate that. If you're starting today, Monday, or if you're in the middle of the day, and maybe it's gloomy where you are, and you're thinking, it's Monday, and life kind of sucks, and you're not very happy, I want you to do me a favor. Think about the people who are enjoying a bright, sunny day to sift through the rubble of what's left of their lives after tornadoes tore through Mississippi over the weekend. A mile-wide tornado tore up small towns, homes, barns, businesses, leaving a lot of lives in ruin. So if you have the inclination and you have it in your heart and maybe you have it in your wallet to do so, make a donation to the American Red Cross. It certainly wouldn't hurt. At the very least, offer a prayer for those people who've lost a great deal. My heart goes out to them. The brain stretcher question for today. Every 3 seconds around the globe, one of these is opened. Every 3 seconds around the globe, one of these is opened. What do you think it might be? We'll have that answer for you in about 4 minutes or so. Today in Washington, D.C., the financial future of our country may be decided. It could very well be at stake because there's financial reform, is what they call it. Here's what they want to do. They want to put new regulations on Wall Street so we don't have a meltdown like we just had or still having. Okay, fine. The problem is it's done by the Senate, and I don't trust these guys in our Senate to fix anything, even though they're the ones who created this whole thing to begin with. There is some talk that this will put bigger restrictions on smaller banks, which means they won't be able to operate, and bigger banks will take them over, and bigger banks will just get bigger. And then the government says they want to have a situation where if a financial institution gets too big to fail, they'll just take it over. Wow, who gets to decide when it gets too big to fail? And if you take it over, that means you're the government and you're controlling all the finances, right? And besides that, Chris Dodd is the guy who's spearheading this thing. He's a senator from Connecticut who says we got to do it right now. I mean, it's immediate. We got to do it now. You were the chairman of the Senate Finance Committee when people said, hey, you know, Freddie Mae and Fannie Pack are really in kind of desperate shape here. They're doing some really stupid things. And you said, no, they're in fine financial footing, and let it go. And let it go until we got to this situation we're in today. And by the way, Freddie Boo Boo and Fannie Pack aren't even in this new legislation. So, And after all this happens, Timothy Geithner, the head of the Treasury Department, says we want to institute global economic and financial restrictions. Wait a minute, global? Really? And they say their plan will control the quality and quantity of profits made by financial institutions. I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't want the government controlling profits for financial institutions or anything else. What are we, China? And now that we're in Asia, yesterday 90,000 Okinawans protested the United States base there on Okinawa. It's been there since World War II because we won. And now you want us off the island. Well, the purpose of it being there is so we could have a strategic base from which to operate should some of our friends in Asia, like Japan, be attacked by China or possibly North Korea. So if you want us off of there, that means, I guess you're going to have to break out the samurai swords, I guess. See this story about the dog who pretty much saved his human companion, I guess, in deference to PETA. The place was on fire because there was an explosion. The dog's master was injured. 911 was called, but the police or fire couldn't find the location of the fire. They couldn't locate it on the GPS. So the dog goes out to an intersection, meets a cop car, and does the lassie trick. Roo, roo, Mr. Smith's in the well. And the police car follows him right to where the fire is, saving the master's life. Man, that's some dog. A little extra in that food bowl for him. There is some good news. Today is Boobquake Day. Remember I told you last week about the Iranian cleric who said it was promiscuous women with their loose morals and their revealing clothes is what's causing this spate of earthquakes that's going on in the world today. Well, in order to just refute that whole argument, there's a woman in Seattle who has declared it Boobquake Day, and she's encouraging all women to show as much cleavage and wear as revealing clothes as they can possibly get away with. That's good with me. I'm okay with that. I think we've got to somehow stop this silliness of these kind of notions, don't you think? Oh, and by the way, I'm not a spokesman for this organization or the day at all, but this does not apply to carpenters, plumbers, mechanics, and you know, any kind of that backside cleavage, because I'm pretty sure that does create some sort of natural disaster. At the very least, queasiness and tittering, which is not to be confused with the boobquake day. All right, the answer to our brain stretcher for today: every 3 seconds around the globe, one of these is opened. It's a can of spam. Didn't expect that, did you? Yeah, a can of spam opened every 3 seconds. And of course, not really sure what that is. Especially that little jelly stuff in there. Not even sure. Anyway, that's a 5-minute morning show for today. Again, thank you for making me a part of your day. Hopefully you'll do it again tomorrow, because I'll be back then. See you then.